Okay, so Pati, thank you for having the time to join us in this beautiful World Rainforest Day Summit. I would really, I've personally had the experience to be with you, to work with you, to see the work that you all do in the Sierra Gorda in central Mexico. So I would really like to hear from your own words. What is it that you do? If you could introduce yourself, the organization, Grupo Ecológico Sierra Gorda, and we'll go from there.
Okay, sure. I'm Pati Ruíz Corzo. I'm the director of Grupo Ecológico Sierra Gorda. We have 35 years working in the most well-preserved area in central Mexico, a beautiful biosphere reserve, full of communities, 638 communities, extreme poverty communities that we work with in a conservation in a very participatory model, living with love, with patience, developing processes with all the support from our side to strengthen the local capacities. And that's what we have done, to raise awareness among the communities, generations that have grown under environmental education program from Grupo Ecológico. And nowadays you may find ecological people everywhere, in the government, in the market, the policies, and the policemen, and in every level, young people, little ones, teachers. So we are a living experience of this social movement to adaptation to global warming. This movement began 35 years ago. Now it's a journey. And I may tell you that after some many learning curves that we have gone through, long ones, painful ones, expensive ones, like planting 6 million trees. 25 years of our lives planting small plots all over Sierra. And we lost the half of them in 2014. The dark beetle came to Sierra to eat pine, and this plague took our beautiful reforestations away. In 3 months, we lost more of the half of them. Learning curves that now we have a different way to manage things from all those learnings in environmental education, in restoration, in food production, in nature tourism, community-based tourism. And then we have developed lines of action. And after this journey, we are ready to replicate in other states of Mexico. In fact, we are doing it in every possible way. Then from Sierra Gorda, what we try to do is to raise a big wave of love for the planet. And we are very stubborn. And we dream to regreen from Baja California all the way down to Yucatan. I would like to have a huge cubeta,
Bucket,
of green ink, and to put green in the minds, in the hearts, and in the forests and in the soils. So Tazio, from Sierra Gorda, we work under those values. And it has been our pleasure to defend this territory. And in all these years, we have tried every possibility. That's what we are here for.
Pati, thank you for that. You have won multiple awards, from Champions of the Earth, United Nations, to National Geographic Conservation Prizes. I'm not going to list them all. You've been working, something that really stands out within the work of Sierra Gorda is your work with communities. Sierra Gorda Reserve has more than 120,000 people living within the reserve. How have you done that work with communities?
I began with my accordion in the shoulder and go around in the communities doing environmental education in the early times. What a pleasure to go community by community, raising awareness. Yeah, doing cleaning campaigns, planting trees, vegetable gardens with the little ones. I'm a teacher in my heart. Then I was so happy at that time in my life, and with the women preparing the vegetable gardens and teaching them healthy food and singing with the men, with the ladies, with the little ones. That's how we have arrived this way in Sierra Gorda. I believe in music, yeah, and it has been a tool to weave. Yeah, that's how we have done environmental education. Every year before COVID, we used to celebrate like 60 Earth festivals all around the region. 800 people here, 1,000 people here, 600 people. And those were beautiful celebrations for our territory and our root. Yeah, it was just to keep the traditions with pre-Hispanic dances and guapango and beautiful poems for trees, and the mamas singing in choir. And that's very exotic here in the rural communities, or doing a play for Mother Earth, taking the knives and giving love, and waves of love, that's it. It is not modern, but it has been the material that we have used to weave. And then in Sierra Gorda, we have the very loving weaving tapestry of different sectors: the beekeepers, the vegetable ladies, the teachers, the young leaders, the little ones, the functionaries in the municipalities. And so in Querétaro state, the civil society is able to weave from the very bottom to the very up levels. That's an attribute for the civil society. Yeah, and it gives us a wide public relations wave.
So that is exactly what was taking me to my next question, which is, how do you translate that love to government, to policy work? Because I know you've been doing a lot of that as well. So can you tell us a little bit more about how does your work on the ground translate to work with policy?
I'm going to begin with the municipalities, the local governments. Yeah. Every month we get together with all the directors of municipal services, light, recollection of waste, and we have plans, and we have developed rules for every municipality. And then we have a leader that goes with the region and teach them the best route or the best practice, and we take them in their hands. And every time they go, they have a very tasty lunch, full of love, tortas de frijol for everyone. You know, it's a part of the the cozy and to have that friendship, that it's something that you have to cultivate. And that's how we are doing waste material recycling in Sierra Gorda. Yeah, fine, with a big wave of different stakeholders. Then we go to the state government. And for the state government, we are a kind of very good alliance, with no doubt, that take the risk, that have the innovation with it, and that we are the personnel they don't have in the region. I work almost pro bono for every agency, trying to feed in those absences, institutional absences that are so many, yeah, on field. Yeah, then I do the tourism, I do the recycling, but I have the support of the state stakeholders. That's fine. We are a bridge. Then we play with them a lot, and it has resulted in a beautiful alliance. Yeah, we are a good proof that the alliances, when they are doing good, may be so much benefit for protected areas. No, we may show how a protected area that it's managed by the civil society have waves of love and financing and work done on field and weaving. Yeah, after this journey of 35 years, our best patrimony is that tapestry of alliances. That's how the civil society work. And with no doubt, a biosphere reserve like ours that has someone inside with a sense of belonging and love from every corner in this territory is the best formula. And in that way, we have worked with the federal government. Lately, not too much, because there is not almost no institution left for nature, for conservation, yeah, for climate change. Then at federal level, I have a little relation. They appreciate what we do, but that's it. Almost gone.
And before the presence of the federal government was gone, is there something you can tell us about how local communities can get involved? How did they get involved within that policy, having you as a bridge? Was there a way that you could describe that others could use as an example? Anything you could share about that?
Yes, that's it. We move big public funds that go directly to the communities, because the NGO takes in care to develop all the files, all the proposals, all the color proposals for the whole region. We ask for all of them, and we do all the work among, yeah, a color proposal and the execution and the reports. See, that's part of being a bridge, until they have their own capacities, and eventually they will get there. But in the meantime, you have to give a hand to the local communities. You know, I have projects that I began 24 years ago, and I'm still on there. Yeah, tourism projects, beautiful cabins, and they still need to do the promotion. They still need to try to fix any conflict. They look for us. Yeah, they have been getting independence, but it takes you decades. and you have to be there, yeah, supplying this and that. And that's what we do until we have a bridge. And even then, we are there to serve. All this work, Tazio, has given us the opportunity to exercise our beliefs. And I believe in give, give, and give. And that's how I think the love takes action. Yeah. So that's a very powerful tool. Yeah. Because nowadays we are putting such a big project in the region. We have hundreds of projects, hundreds, and you may not wonder. I am like an Aladdin lamp. Maestra Pati, we need this and this and this, and now we need to harvest the rain, and now we need to feed the soils, and we need to take care of the bees that have such trouble. And then we are there in segments, teaching, strengthening capacities, doing environmental education, paying to the forest landowners, yeah, to exclude the carbon out. And that's a big wave that we are pushing. The local protocol, yeah, under this on a state mechanism, that it's our best input of this alliance with the government of the state. Yeah, they realize that the global protocols don't fit in the context of the local communities, and they support us to tropicalize Kyoto in the local context. And now we have a local protocol. I don't pretend it's a carbon credit. It is a carbon reduction certificate, and it is a result of the public politic at subnational level for climate action that we are really pushing to go beyond our Querétaro borders. Yeah. Soon we are going to have a launch of this idea at national level with the support of the External Affairs Ministry, Marta Delgado. She's going to support the idea of to improve, to push subnational action. We need to do it, that's here. Yeah. With all this darkness, with all these absences, to push at subnational level. One governor to the next, one by one. We have more opportunities to activate action than trying to move the monster.
So Pati, you've been talking a lot about local action, national action, but you've mentioned also global protocols. So that is where I'd like to lead the conversation as we continue. For you to tell me about your experience with global protocols, global conferences. You've been yourself to like many COPs, many Davos meetings.
Yeah.
How can you tell me, for example, how can non-rainforest nations, such as a global north, how can they actually have an impact in what happens in the local community and what happens in the Sierra Gorda?
It was so exciting and learning to be among so many different forums all around the world, and big learning. For example, I was part of a wonderful organization, Forest Trends, for many, many years. I am still part of the board of directors. And we have gone to many places trying to ground Kyoto protocols. Yeah. In Thailandia, in Amazonia, in everywhere, trying to see how does it fit. Then I came back to Sierra Gorda. I'm very excited. I say I'm going to put Sierra Gorda on the wheels. Well, it took us 3 years with a team of 3 geographers to put all together all the little pieces we need to put. With 600 files from the forest, right? A national land right paper, they don't have a bank account. They are for the forest, rural communities. Some of them don't even speak Spanish. So far from the stock exchange that it's not fair. Yeah. So we went through this tunnel and took us a long way to get the gold standard. We were the first gold standard with the small communities under the Kyoto Protocol, BCS and CCB standards. But when this process finished, I was so upset and sad because they took such a little portion of my original proposal, that could be validated. Definitely those rules exclude the local context. Who own the forest? Rural communities. How are you going to make fiscal commitments for them in 100 years term? It is not fair. They surprise them. And the monitoring of those protocols, they are crazy. You suppose for one plot of 300 hectares, you're supposed to have 300 sites of monitoring. And I asked them, excuse me, have you gone through under the forest, in a natural place, where you may get 100 pulgas abajo de tu pantalón? Patsy, ayúdame. Sí, garrapatas.
Eso está difícil de traducir. That's a hard one to translate. We'll have to use another example.
Go to under the bushes in such a difficult conditions with the insects that you're pretending to do 300 sites of crazy requirements that statistics, it's a very on desk lady, obviously. They have never been on field. They don't know what their requirements demand. It is not fair. Then we develop a simplified methodology with the US Forest Service and Colpos, that it's a very well-recognized scientific institution in Mexico. And we established permanent plots, monitoring plots, that we go, and after time we go back and we measure every little tree and herb, and develop this monitoring that has been approved by the ICAT guides. It has been reviewed, all our numbers and our methodology, because we were chosen to develop this simplified methodology for public politics, not for markets, okay? I'm out of markets. I'm talking about public politics. And what we developed, it was a tool for the transparency on the monitoring on carbon reduction. Under the BERRA protocol. BERRA is the Verified Carbon Standard that changed their name, and now they are called BERRA. And they developed this protocol for public politics, not for stock exchange. Then, as a result, you may get a certificate that you may follow your carbon footprint reduction certificate. You may follow, you may trace, in what little plot of Sierra Gorda and when did you made your carbon capture, your carbon reduction. Then at this way, sorry, that's it.
is there a way in which these international treaties, the international policy that is decided in the global north, is there a way to ensure, to certify that that impact can actually be made on the ground?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you are talking about this methodology on the ICAT guides. Yeah, the ICAT guides is the Initiative of Climate Action Transparency. That it's the news is this new protocol from Berra. Yeah, and it's a big initiative for United Nations and Berra and the big organization to develop this tool for the transparency in the carbon reduction, for the regeneration of landscapes, forest, and planet grazing. Yeah. Then we have a methodology that has been validated externally, and it is a tool that may be replicated, not just in Mexico. It may be very useful for the South, because we are teaching that you may go beyond the markets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Markets are what are stopping this regeneration wave. It's so expensive, so hard to fulfill with all the requirements. That's why the Red and Red Plus, there are a few examples. Yeah, they are so expensive. And I may see that the context that feeds you well is not a size 7 for poverty. It is a size that goes naturally in the context, and it is more viable because you're not trying to fit in a size 7. Yeah. So Trazio, we have been with our local protocol here and there in the climate week and trying to share, and we have raised awareness and the attention from different parts of the South, because this protocol shows you that it's better to forget about markets and to push for subnational public politics that may act you in the context of who owns the forest.
So Pati, you're actually taking the conversation exactly where I wanted again. Raising awareness. This is going to be, I think, my last question. Raising awareness is vital. It's vital within the local communities. It's vital at international level. What do you think exactly? I'm going to say, how can the public play a role in rainforest policy work, in influencing what is happening at a public level, at a public policy level, sorry?
I think definitely that it is the time for civil society. They are public politics. Yeah. And they have their hearts, and maybe you may connect them with nature. But someone has to do it. I don't see it from one politician to the other. I don't really see it. I think they need an starter, something that light the spark, and that is the role for the civil society in many cases. Yeah, I think that it is just our time, because we have that capacity, as I told you, to be with different stakeholders and to weave, because that's weaving networks. That's how we are going to get stronger and more powerful. Yeah, and it needs long-term, more beyond any politic term. You have to keep weaving, and someone has to give continuity. then to really trying to get deep, I think that it has to be based in the civil society, because we have the love, we have the passion, we have the commitment, we have that vision, we have the generosity, we have the persistence to be there until the eggs are ready. We are there seated in the nest, and we don't lose a sentiment. Yeah, then I don't think that it is under the public sector where is the hope. In the best cases, we will have functionaries that have a sensitive heart or knowledge, and then we have to find them and to vinculate with opportunities. I have been a public servant, and then I worked for CONAMP 16 years, and they tried to keep me, and I tried to follow the rules, but at the time, I always was doing the funding and and the public relations for the work of Sierra Gorda, not just as the federal director, but activating all the social movement in Sierra Gorda and finding the ways to make it happen. And I could find at that time, so it was a great time for CONAM. We had a mystic around all the planet. We felt such a good team of champions. We were such a good comrades. Yeah, we were really beating for Mother Earth. And that's something that I think we had to raise from heart to heart. Tazio, I was there among them talking about Mother Nature. And everyone looked at me like, oh, what is this lady with that strange uniform? Because I just put the logo on my dress. And I was among them, but I found so much empathy. It is just a matter that someone comes and tells you, hey, you are an orphan. Turn your eyes to Mother Earth. Your heart and connect. And it was a wonderful experience to have such a good comrades. Yeah, but it's something crazy that just the civil society may do. The other day we had the 35th anniversary celebration. Julia Carabias, a good friend, said, I remember Pati with her joy. Translated in singing or talking about Mother Nature. But we could raise a good friendship around our pleasure to take care of the green jewels of Mexico. Yeah, it was a great time. And I think that it is still a little, and that we must blow to put the fire again. There is still an ash. That's it. So much to do.
Pati, a last few sentences before we finish. Hope for the future?
It depends on the love that we may put to plant that hope, because I don't see a hope is coming from where. What I see is so dark. It's such a heavy future that I don't see the hope. For me, the hope is the wave that we may raise. So that's what we are trying to do. That's the hope that we are trying to grow. And because if not, I could be so sad and beginning crying right now. Then I keep myself busy, very, very busy. Yeah. Working for life. And I am not pretending to save the planet, but I am I am planting for my future life. The day I'm gone from here, I'm going to be sure that I have made my best effort in life. And I adore nature. I see a goddess that make me excited. And I'm living now in the forest. I'm living retired. I'm back in my old forest, surrounded by such a beautiness. Those giants around me. Oh, what an honor to be part of it, of this ecosystem, to be part of this energy that comes from the forest. So I think that simply people, that's a key on the hope, to learn to be happy, to learn to be thankful, to learn to recognize the beautiness, the wisdom that nature gives us every day. Yeah, to feed our little ones with such waves of love and delicious food. So I could keep talking, excited about Mother Nature. I love her. ¿Quién dijo que todo está perdido? Yo vengo a entregar mi corazón. I hope you translate this song. Adiós, amigo.
Thank you, Pati.